Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Now, today we're going to have a look at the 30B, the AMX 30B, because it should be back in store. If it's not, well, let's just talk about the 30B. I'm a little harsh. I have been a little harsh on the 30B over the last few years. I'm harsh on it because I love the tank. I really do enjoy playing the tank. I just think that it's getting left behind through between all the other medium tanks in tier 10. This is just kind of sort of just left, never really been buffed, whilst everything around it is being buffed. And I do sit there and think, like, why play the 30B? What reason is there to play the AMX 30B? Or as now, if it has come back for sale, what is the reason? Is there a reason why you should buy the AMX 30B over other tanks in tier 10? Now, the DPM, you're looking at around 3,000 DPM, I think, or 3,000, yeah, 3,000 DPM. Now, the tank, if you like the Leopard 1, and if you like the STB, you will like this tank. It's a kind of in the mix. It's a mix between an STB and a Leopard 1. However, the Leopard 1 has almost 3,600. Well, it has 3,600 DPM. That's 600 DPM more than this tank. And the STB has 3,200. Now, the penetration is not bad at 250. It is above the STB, but it is below the Leopard 1. For me, it really is the armor profile. This has a weaker hull. This has a weaker hull than the Leopard 1. I think it's 70 millimeters on your front of the hull, whereas the Leopard 1 is 90. Yeah, I mean, it has a weaker hull than the Leopard 1. But the Leopard 1 has the DPM to go with that. This hasn't. You know, it doesn't have the armor. It's the same speed as the Leopard 1. And it also doesn't have the DPM. So it has nothing. It has nothing. And I always say in my videos, you always need one of those. You always need one of those. Now, it doesn't mean it can't perform. It really can perform. What do I want? What do I want from the tank? Now, I know it's got the big hatch on top. I would love to for that to be reinforced, just so it is a little bit stronger than it currently is, because now if you're moving about, yeah, it can be quite difficult to get that shot, but I would like it just so it's a little bit stronger, not so it can't be penned, because if you remove the hatch, or if you make the hatch so it can't be penned, then it's just going to be another overpowered medium tank in the game. So I wouldn't like them to remove it completely, just sort of to make it a little bit stronger, just a little bit. That's all I'm asking. Now, these two shots that I've just had, yeah, ignore that didn't happen, but I wanted to add these because, you know, I'm human, we make mistakes, and that's why I wanted to just add these shots. I don't always want to add games where I get aces, or if other people get aces. I do want to add the games where, you know, I mess up as well, but nevertheless, it was still a good game, and we still earned some credits. So, how much is the tank worth? Now, this tank, if it is in store, it should be for sale for around 17,500 gold, or you may be able to buy the crates for this tank. Would I recommend buying the tank for that price, 17,500? Now, considering you're looking at the standard price for 20,000 gold, 17,500 for a tier 10 tank isn't bad at all. Now, I would like to have seen it a little bit cheaper, like 15k. If this was for 15,000, then yeah, I would say, do you know what, it's not bad for that price. It's a pretty solid price. But it's there's just so many. I think there's only one other medium tank in tier 10 that isn't as strong, that's stronger than this, sorry, and that's the 121B, which is still strong, and it's got a turret. This doesn't. So I do prefer this over the 121B, but it's a lot of people don't perform well in the 30B. Now, I tested the tank years ago when this first came out. I tested it, and it was absolutely insane. Wargaming just could not balance this tank. They had to test it 3 times. They got it into the game. It was overpowered with around 5.1 second reload. Then they nerfed it to around 5.5 seconds. It was still too strong. Then they nerfed it to around 6.9 seconds, which it is now. But when I first played this tank, the on the move accuracy, it was absolutely insane, and that is what I loved about this tank. You could be driving 65 kilometers an hour, aim at a tank, shoot, and it will hit. That's what I originally loved about the tank. I really did enjoy it, playing it when it was like that. But now, do I ever play it? I've owned it all this time, ever since it was released, and we all know the meme with Pantooth. It was the new tank in the game. He spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds on crates. It just wasn't to be, and he couldn't get it. We all know that meme. Anyone that's been around for a while knows that meme with Pantooth and the 30B. It was a tank that he wanted for so long, but the crates just was not dropping. So although I'm happy to see it return for gold, right now, I wouldn't say spend that gold on this tank. I would say there's better tanks to spend the gold on. You have the 121B that always, when it does come for sale, it comes for around 15k gold. And I know that's a little bit cheaper, not too much. It's 2.5k gold cheaper, but it is still 15k gold. So who has this tank? Who has this tank? Who likes this tank? Do you think the tank is solid? Do you think it's balanced? Now, I do think it is a little bit on the balance. It is balanced. It is balanced. But for me, the DPM is just too much lower than the other medium tanks in tier 10. And for me, DPM is everything in a medium tank in tier 10. So if you come up against medium tanks, they are all brawlers. Most of the medium tanks are brawlers. You have the Object 140, the T62A, you have the Leopard 1, you have the 121, the M60, the Patton, like E50M. These are all brawling tanks who like to brawl against other medium tanks. So if you brawl in this tank against another medium tank, you're going to come off worse. So I'd like to see a little bit of a buff, maybe an armor profile buff. The DPM will be fine as it is, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you like it how it is, or would you like to see this buffed? Hope you enjoyed it, guys, and I'll see you soon.